Now at 9, a Joplin woman wants to share her story after experiencing the loss of her child. Plus, a Fredonia court cleared a man of a felony conviction, and a local veteran gets a new home courtesy of Habitat for Humanity.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Amber Jenkins. A Chanute, Kansas man has a fresh start after his name was cleared of a felony conviction for crimes he did not commit. KOM Jalen Banks shares his story with us.
After a mishap between the Fredonia Police Department and the Wilson County Sheriff's Office, Shane Thompson's record was tarnished after several felonies were mistakenly put on it, and over a decade later, he's still fighting to clear his name.
I've had to force them to right such a horrible wrong. And so I don't even feel like anything could actually be done at this point to bring back what I've lost. You know, the reputation, the time.
With the felonies on his record, he's faced many tribulations, such as traveling, employment, and most recently, health assistance.
They think I'm some 7-time felon. I have chronic health conditions now. I have a liver condition that I'm fighting, autoimmune disease, and so I'm trying to get disability, SSI. Well, I'm in a predicament with them even because having a felony on your record can actually prevent you from getting a Social Security disability.
To clear his name, he needed the Fredonia Police Department to submit to the Kansas Bureau of Investigation that there was a mistake made on their end. I reached out to the Fredonia Police Department and they declined to do an interview, but provided this statement. A search of his record did indicate that there was a discrepancy in the crime he was charged for and the charge on his criminal record. It is not known at what point in the criminal justice procedure that this occurred, but as soon as we were made aware it was corrected, we contacted the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, and they have also made the necessary correction. Today, Thompson got the news he was looking for from the KBI.
Okay, well.
It's not viewable to anybody.
All right, well that's good news. It's been 10 years of fighting this, so I'm so happy to finally, I'm almost speechless to get it off there. I appreciate all your help. You were a big help in this.
You're welcome.
So it's almost like being born again and having a whole new life. I feel like a totally different person. That's how they're going.
And the best part, he was able to share the moment with his family.
Yeah, she said as far as my record goes, that it's completely over with and cleared. And so we can move on and be happy and not be afraid anymore. Yay!
In Chanute, Kansas, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
Thompson says that now that his name and record has been cleared, he will be able to vote for the first time in his life. Doug Hetty joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, again, today we set record highs. We almost hit 100 degrees, which is absolutely crazy any time of the year. But in late September, it's really crazy. The record was 95, set back in 1956. 99.76 were the numbers, almost 20 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. As our cold front shifted through, we had some isolated showers and thunderstorms, southeastern Kansas, southwest Missouri. These have pretty much died out now, so there's not a whole bunch going on, but we do have a shield of rain, which is building out across the north central parts of Kansas, and that's going to head our direction by the time we head into the morning hours. Look at the temperatures cooling down 70s to near 80 degrees, so it's about 20 degrees cooler than what we had earlier. And look at this, 64 by morning, showers through the day. We kind of hold into the 60s, high of only 70 during the afternoon. Of course, we're going to break this down for you here in just a bit.
A Neosho, Missouri man was found dead after a crash yesterday. The Neosho Police Department says the 74-year-old Charles Hickson was driving east on Highway 86 in Neosho when he hit a car stopped in the left-hand turn lane on Baxter Street. Hickson was pronounced dead at the scene. The other drivers were treated at the scene and then released. A poll shows Missourians' views on abortion rights differ depending on the respondent's sex. KOM is partnering with other TV stations in Missouri that are owned by Gray Television for a series of polls on a variety of races and topics. The poll asks Missourians whether they agree or disagree with the U.S. Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade. 35% of all respondents agree with the High Court decision, 46% disagree, and 19% aren't sure. 41% of men agree with the recent Supreme Court decision and 39% disagree. But among women, only 29% agree with the decision and 53% disagree. The poll of 1,000 Missouri adults conducted from September 19th through the 22nd, it has other demographic breakdowns by age, party affiliation, income, and more. You can find more results at komnewsnow.com. Tonight at 10, we'll see how Missourians feel about the student loan forgiveness. A Joplin woman wants to inform other women about their options when it comes to pregnancy.
Very scared, very scared. I thought I was going to die. I really thought I was going to die.
Being pregnant. However, that changed when she went in for a checkup in the 18th week of pregnancy.
And they told me that my water had broke fully, completely, that there was no amniotic fluid left, that she wasn't going to survive, that there was no chance for her.
But Missouri's heartbeat law prohibits medical doctors from performing an abortion if the fetus has a heartbeat, even if it's life-threatening to the mother.
I don't want to orphan my child and leave him with the child. You know, there's so many things that I can't do because of this heartbeat law. It needs to be clear.
Melissa and her partner drove to a clinic in Illinois that did the abortion.
I said, well, it feels like the law is trying to kill me. It feels like the state of Missouri is trying to kill me without options, and the doctors want to help, and you're not able to help.
Melissa wanted to share her story to inform women so they can be prepared.
Losing our daughter was hard. We were so excited for her. And I hope that the only good that can come from this story is that even though we lost hers, that other women can live.
We reached out to State Senator Rick Bratton and Senator Bill White, who supported the fetal heartbeat law, but we have not received a response. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announced a 5-year, $9 million grant to improve student behavioral health in the Southeast Kansas. The grant aims to address the behavioral health of nearly 40,000 students. An official with the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas says the grant will impact children without resources.
So if someone is struggling to come to school ready to learn because they have food insecurities or transportation issues, or maybe they're not sure if they're going to have a place to stay the next night, our community health workers can really step in and be that bridge between the resources and support that we have in the schools and the resources and support that families and students need at home.
The Community Health Center will be able to add a school-based community health worker in Pittsburgh and Fort Scott School District. Score One for Health is hosting elementary students from Columbia and West Central Schools in Joplin. This program is held at Joplin's Kansas City University and allows second-year medical students to do head-to-toe physical assessments, oral screenings, and vision tests. Elementary students also participate in a STEM education.
A lot of times we teach students how to do an ear exam in a lab on each other or from a video, but today actually they get to experience doing that on a child. It's one thing to do it on a participating adult, but sometimes it's a lot more challenging or fun on a child.
KCU medical students will help examine all 11 Joplin elementary schools this semester. A Southwest Missouri veteran was welcomed into a brand new home today. Joplin Area Habitat for Humanity partnered with Build with Strength and General Mills to build a new home for Marine veteran Tim P. and his family. The house is an insulated concrete form home designed to protect against severe weather.
Having a home, period, for your family gives me a lot of security. Then knowing how this house was built, the entire house is concrete. The roof has been fortified to the house. So if something actually were to happen weather-wise here, I'd probably miss some shingles. The house won't go anywhere.
General Mills donated $50,000 towards the construction of the house. We now take the time to honor tonight's state hero. McKinley Allen, native to Munn City, Kansas, served in the Army during World War II. He also had 3 sons who followed in his footsteps. 2 served in the Korean War and 1 served in Vietnam. To McKinley Allen, thank you, our 4th state hero. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, Missouri Southern football aims for their first 3-game winning streak since 2013. We'll hear from the Lions in sports.
Well, it turned out to be another record-setting day for us again today. We've done this way too much this summer, and we almost hit 100 degrees again today, which we haven't done for about a month, but it's not something we want to do, and it's very rare to do that in the month of September, but we hit 99. Kind of crazy. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Seneca, Missouri. We had some isolated showers and thunderstorms as our cold front has been driving through the region over the past several hours. You can see this line of clouds. So our front is now in our southern counties. Most of the rain is off toward the east, so we're going to stay dry as we go through the next few hours. But look what's going on to the northwest. Look at the showers, thunderstorms along the I-70 corridor, just to the west of Topeka. This batch of rain is going to head toward us. It's going to be light, but at least we're going to get some scattered showers across the region, which we definitely need. Look at the temps. We got a northeasterly wind now. We're dropping upper 70s to near 80. We'll continue to drop throughout the overnight hours. Watch the front shift through over the past several hours. Now the winds are picking up behind the front a little bit, so we have those northeasterly winds at about 10 to 20. Outside, 7th and range line, 80. Northerly wind behind the front, 69%. Relative humidity, rain chances creep up by morning, so we go into scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's not widespread, it's still scattered, and then it will start to taper off by the time we head into late tomorrow. And a very slight chance we could see a random shower by the time we head into Friday. All right, let's go through time. Clouds kind of thickening throughout the overnight hours. We're going to stop at 4:30 a.m. Northern counties starting to get a few spotty showers. Rain increases 7 a.m., so it'll be very spotty, but as we go through the morning, a little bit more widespread, especially Yates Center, Chanute, Fort Scott, Nevada, down toward Pittsburgh. Also notice our temps. We're in the 60s. As we go through the morning hours, light showers continue to press through. So here's 1 p.m. Light showers continue into the afternoon, very hit and miss. Hopefully your house will be hit because we do need the rain. But look at these temps. We're kind of holding 60s to near 70 all day. 64 to start, 66 by noon, 68 by 5 p.m. Northerly winds, kind of breezy at about 10 to 15. Any showers mainly out of here by evening, then partly cloudy skies. Another wave shoots to our north on Friday morning, so this will give our northern counties a few random showers and may even push a few showers all the way down to the I-44 corridor by Friday afternoon. Rainfall is going to be light, but we'll take what we can get, 1/10, maybe 2/10 of an inch. Not a lot to really help the drought areas, but still better than nothing. 70 tomorrow is the first day of fall, not till 8:04 tomorrow evening. Back to 89 Friday, unfortunately back to 95 on Saturday, and then we cool back down a bit Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. So temperatures roller coaster ride the next few days.
Yeah, I see the first day of fall doesn't really do much, I guess.
No, but it's going to feel like fall tomorrow.
Thank you, Doug.
Yep.
So coming up, the U.S. territory is still in the dark.
Still no word on when power will be fully restored on the island of Puerto Rico 3 days after a direct hit from Hurricane Fiona. I'm Nicole Valdez in Toa Baja. Details on that coming up.
Shelter insurance.
Type 2 diabetes take the greatest toll on life expectancy of women, younger people, and smokers. That's according to the new analysis from the UK. Diabetic women are 60% more likely to die prematurely. For people diagnosed before the age of 65, it's 93%. The research also found smokers with diabetes live 10 years less than the general population. They're still picking up pieces in Puerto Rico 3 days after the direct hit from Hurricane Fiona. Fox weather correspondent Nicole Valdez has more from Puerto Rico.
Hurricane Fiona is now a Category 4 storm as it moves north through the Caribbean. It's caused major damage in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and here in Puerto Rico, the mission has now shifted from rescue to recovery mode. Officials are assessing the damage, and it's widespread. Most of the island still without access to power, and half of residents do not have access to running water. Federal officials are increasing their presence, promising not to leave until the rebuilding is done.
I know many of you may feel sadness. You may be frustrated, but what I can tell you is this: you are not alone in this recovery. FEMA is going to be here with you.
But it's still unclear how long that will take. The island's power grid is severely damaged, and most people are turning to generators to power their homes, while others are simply at the mercy of the elements, with the real field temperature hitting 100 degrees Wednesday.
We feel the heat. We are a little on edge, anxious. Your body gets tired. You try to rest a little, and then you labor on.
There are also thousands still sleeping at shelters after their homes were either flooded or ripped apart by the winds. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are discussing ways to help, while advocates across the country push to get aid dollars flowing as quickly as possible.
The people of Puerto Rico need our support. They need our solidarity. But more importantly, they need the money.
Next up, Bermuda, which could get hit by Thursday or Friday, but as of right now, no threat to the U.S. mainland. In Toa Baja, Puerto Rico, I'm Nicole Valdez, Fox Weather.
Still ahead, another move from the central bank.
The Federal Reserve hiking interest rates once again. I'm Jackie DeAngelis in New York with more on how that rate increase will affect you coming up.
Federal regulators are taking a closer look at Amazon's plans to buy iRobot for $1.7 billion. In a regulatory filing, iRobot says it and Amazon received a request for more information in connection with the Federal Trade Commission in review of the deal. Both Amazon and iRobot say they will cooperate with the review. Groups urging the FTC to block the merger says it will help Amazon enhance its monopoly power in the smart home market. And the National Transportation Safety Board wants all new vehicles in the U.S. to come equipped with blood alcohol monitoring systems. The technology can stop intoxicated persons from getting behind the wheel. If enacted, the recommendation could lower the number of alcohol-related crashes, which are the biggest among highway deaths. The Federal Reserve enacting another interest in rate hikes today. Fox Business Network Jackie Dingles tells us how this might affect your wallet.
In 3, 2, 1. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates today by 0.75 of a point. It was the Fed's 5th rate hike this year, its 4th increase in a row, and the 3rd time the market is seeing a 75 basis point hike. Now, the market was trading higher for most of the session before the decision, indicating it was expecting a 75 basis point hike today, rather than the full percentage point that only a small group of market watchers still thought was possible. But then, when the news broke, markets retreated, and they did so because the bottom line is this. As the Fed hikes rates trying to tame persistently high inflation, the economy will slow. Consumers and corporations will see higher borrowing costs, and that's going to impact the overall economy. On the consumer side, the rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage is 6.02% compared to 2.86% this time last year. On a $400,000 mortgage, that equals a 45% increase in the monthly payment. And it doesn't end there. Car loans could break through 6% as well, while credit card interest rates, already on the very high side, may continue to creep up too. The flip side of this, you may finally earn a little bit of interest on your savings. Some high-yield online savings accounts paying close to 2% more for CDs. Some argue these rates should be substantially higher. But still, Americans are seeing their savings dwindle along with their retirement accounts. That's the reason that credit card borrowing is up 13% year over year. The government won't be exempt from higher rates either. The Committee for Responsible Federal Budget now warning that this rate hike could add $2.1 trillion to federal deficits over the next 10 years. Jackie DeAngelis, Fox Business.
Up next, we'll learn the story behind these photos of space and why they're important. NASA is sharing a stunning view of Neptune and its rings taken by its James Webb telescope. It's the telescope's first image of Neptune and is the clearest view of the planet in more than 30 years when Voyager flew by 2 years ago. The telescope picked up several bright, narrow rings and as well as a fainter dust band. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Volunteers with the Wildcat Glaze Friends group clean up graffiti at the park. Plus, Arvis Bank makes a donation to a local organization for a new recreational space. Wildcat Glaze Conservation Area in Joplin is trying to keep nature clean from graffiti. KOM Yana Hatila spoke to officials and a local sports team who helped paint over some of the graffiti.
Wildcat Glades Conservation Area in Joplin is often targeted for graffiti. Naturalist Maddie Jackson says graffiti causes two main problems. Firstly, spray paint has harmful particles to wildlife. Secondly, graffiti ruins the experience for people.
A lot of times people come here to kind of check out and they like to get away from the city, but it's a little bit difficult to get away from city life when you're faced with graffiti.
According to Sergeant Andy Blair, people do graffiti on places where they are not heavily seen, such as here at Wildcat Glades Trails. Consequences from graffiti can be vandalism or property destruction, depending on the value.
Financial value of what was destroyed, that could always grow into being a felony instead of a misdemeanor. So there'd be quite a few consequences behind that could be pretty detrimental.
Jackson and Blair both want people who are walking on the trails to contact people if they see someone doing graffiti, as it is not easy or cheap to remove.
That stuff is really expensive. A little tube of eco-friendly cleaner, because we try not to use those really heavy chemical-based things that can, wash into the waterways. It's really expensive. It's $70 for a tiny little tube of it.
Luckily, Wildcat Glades Friends Group has volunteers help keeping the area clean. Missouri Southern women's basketball team wants to give back to the community that supports them.
I don't get the point of it. I guess it's a way for some kids to express themselves, but I definitely think they could do it somewhere else besides on property in places like this where people can come and enjoy our nature. I think there's definitely a place for it, and it's not places like this.
In Joplin, Janna Haudala, KOAM News.
Missouri Southern women's basketball team has been helping out Wildcat Glades before as well. Christ in Youth will get a new studio space in Joplin. The new 18,000 square foot studio will give the CIY the ability to create more video content for events and digital platforms. The organization has been looking to acquire more studio space for years.
I mean, for us, we do a lot of film projects globally, all over the nation. One of our limitations is we've had nowhere in Joplin in our region for us to do film production, and we'll do hundreds of projects a year. And so typically that would involve our team maybe going to Springfield, going to Tulsa, going to other locations.
CIY expects to use the new studio immediately. Arvis donated $10,000 to the Nevada Vernon County Community Foundation for their MRF project. This project is a multi-use recreational space. The facility will be 2 complexes with a pickleball, basketball, and a tennis court. $900,000 is left to be raised for the project.
Being able to meet people that are doing these great things in the community it's just another one of those organizations that's doing something fantastic for the community.
MRF stands for Multi-Use Recreational Facility. A federal appeal court is letting Justice Department resume its criminal probe of classified documents seized from former President Florida home. The emergency invention reverses the trial judge rulings that block federal investigations work on these documents. It also partially halts the special master's review of the subset is about 100 records, which would allow Trump's legal team to see them. However, the special master is able to continue his work reviewing the rest of the material from Mar-a-Lago. President Biden addressed the United Nations this morning, the 77th meeting of the UN General Assembly in New York. His main focus was putting on the spotlight of Russia's alleged war crimes in Ukraine and calling on the nations around the globe to show solidarity with the Ukrainian people. Fox News White House correspondent Jacqueline Hendricks has more details from New York.
President Biden on Wednesday making his case to the world that Russia deserves international condemnation for its ongoing war in Ukraine.
A permanent member of the United Nations Security Council invaded its neighbor, attempted to erase a sovereign state from the map. Russia has shamelessly violated the core tenets of the United Nations Charter.
As Moscow's invasion nears the 7-month mark, Russian forces have been accused of widespread war crimes as they push to take territory in eastern Ukraine.
Attacks on schools, railway stations, hospitals. This war is about extinguishing Ukraine's right to exist as a state, plain and simple.
Russia on Wednesday announced its first major military mobilization since World War II and repeated threats that it had not ruled out using nuclear weapons.
A nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought.
The president also announcing nearly $3 billion in global food security aid to address widespread food shortages caused by Russia's invasion and the effects of climate change.
The United States introduced a call to action, a roadmap eliminating global food insecurity. It's Russia's war that is worsening food insecurity, and only Russia can end it.
Biden also called out aggression from North Korea and China and pushed other countries to help the U.S. revive the Iran nuclear deal. In New York, Jackie Heinrich, Fox News.
A bit later, the impact of droughts on your grocery bill.
I'm at the Santa Monica Farmers Market and it is clearly really busy, but these shoppers are going to be paying more for their fruits and their vegetables. I'm Kelly O'Grady with Fox Business. I'll tell you why coming up.
Well, of course, again, record highs for us today. Almost 199 official high at the Joplin Airport, which is ridiculous, but we are cooling down outside for us right now. Partly cloudy skies, nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, with our cold front that has been dropping through, we had some isolated showers and thunderstorms, especially in southeastern Kansas, southwestern parts of Missouri. All these showers, thunderstorms rolling off toward the east. So as of right now, not a whole bunch going on. We do have some just kind of hit and miss clouds, but you can see this line from Cassville to Anderson over toward Grand Lake. That's our actual front that is pushing through the region. So it's almost through the entire four-state area. Now back to our north and to our west. Showers, thunderstorms, central Kansas. These are going to roll east into Kansas City, but eventually take a drop southeast. So at least we're going to have scattered light showers as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. Look at the cooler air. 69 Iola, 73 in Nevada, 79 in Neosho. It's still 81 in Veneta, but everybody is going to cool down tonight. You can see the front as it presses south over the past several hours. So here's that wind shift line in our far southern counties. It's picked up a little windy behind the front, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. 80 in Joplin, northerly winds 5 to 10. Rain chances increase through the morning, isolated showers, but we get up into the scattered sector here, especially mid to late morning, early afternoon. So it's not going to be widespread. It's going to be hit and miss, but at least a good chunk of us are going to see some showers by the time we head into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. So let's go ahead, break it down. Let's go hour by hour. We're going to go through the overnight hours. We'll stop at about 4:30 in the morning. Light showers starting to pick up in our far northern counties. As we go through the morning, you can see rain increasing. Northern counties kind of hit and miss north of I-44. Also notice the temperatures. We're sitting into the 60s. 9:30 a.m., a little bit more widespread from Chinook, Nevada, Lamar, back toward Pittsburgh. As we continue late morning, this band weakens as it moves into the metro, but we're going to get some light showers in here. 1 p.m., we'll go into the afternoon, really starts to break up, so 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then pretty much gone by the time we get into late afternoon into the evening. But with the clouds, we're going to get a little bit of sun by the evening. Look at this. We're going to hold mainly 60s all day. I think maybe we'll hit 70, but that is going to be just about it. All right, rainfall amounts. They're going to be light, but we'll take what we can get. Maybe a tenth, upwards to about a quarter of an inch of rain. So it is very light. It's going to be scattered, but at least a good chunk of us are going to get some light showers tomorrow. Also, the first day of fall doesn't officially begin until 8:04 in the evening. High temp 70, back to 89 Friday. A few scattered afternoon thunderstorms. Again, late Saturday into Saturday night. But Saturday, we heat up again. High temp at 95, so all over the place.
Yeah, I can see. Well, I guess some scatter of rain is better than no rain.
Yeah, we need something.
Need something. Thank you, Doug.
Yep.
So don't forget, you can also be the first to know about today's weather with the KOM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. It's the KOM Skywatch weather app. Coming up in sports, a junior wide receiver emerges as another offensive weapon for Missouri Southern football. Plus, the Kansas City Chiefs prepare to hit the road to face Indianapolis Colts. Jacob Leonard has more on that.
The Missouri Southern Lions have put together back-to-back wins to get to 2-1 in their first 3 games of the season. Last week, the Lions got the offense going a little bit, scoring a season-high 40 points in their 40-21 win over Central Oklahoma. Saturday, the Lions are back on the road facing the Fort Hays State Tigers. Hays is 1-2 in their first 3 games. For Missouri Southern, redshirt junior Ezekiel Lang kind of burst on the scene the last 2 weeks. The Lions' last 2 wins, he has 7 catches for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I didn't play last year, so it felt good to get back on the field with the team and stuff like that. So then with COVID happened too, so I ain't touched the field in about 3 years. So it feel kind of good to be back.
Zeke's one of those guys that just exemplifies our program. He comes to work. He's not concerned about his number. He's not concerned about his stats. He blocks on the perimeter. I think he's leading us in tackles on kickoff. He starts on 2 special teams. I mean, he's that guy. He's very selfless. He just wants to see us win. And we're starting to get a collection of those guys in the locker room, and it's paying dividends.
The Kansas City Chiefs are 2-0 to begin the season. Last Thursday, they won their home opener over the Chargers, 27-24. The Chiefs back on the road this week facing the Indianapolis Colts. And Sunday's game will be the home opener for Indianapolis. Now, the Colts been bad the first 2 weeks. Our producer Peyton, he's a Colts fan. I don't know how he's watched the nonsense. They tied the Texans in week 1, then got shut out by Jacksonville 24-0 on Sunday. They've also turned it over 5 times in 2 games. Anyways, here's Patrick Mahomes saying what he's supposed to say, even though we've seen the Colts be a sloppy mess with our own eyes.
The Colts are a great football team. I think all of us understand that. If you look at their roster, they have playmakers everywhere, guys that made plays in this league for a long time. And we understand how tough of an opponent it's going to be. So we're not looking ahead at anything. We're looking straight at the Colts and know it's going to be a tough matchup for us to go to Indy in their home opener and try to find a way to get a win.
The Kansas City Royals have parted ways with longtime general manager and president of baseball operations Dayton Moore. And Moore has been with the organization since 2006. He was the man responsible for putting together the 2015 World Series championship team. And that was Kansas City's first title since 1985 and the second in franchise history. However, this season hasn't really gone well, or any of the last few seasons for that matter. The Royals are about to finish with their 6th consecutive losing record. The show goes on, though. Tonight, Kansas City at home against Minnesota for Game 2 of their series with the Twins. The Royals lead right now 5-2 in the top of the 8th inning. Salvador Perez is 3 for 4 with an RBI double. Now in the National League, St. Louis Cardinals hit the field for Game 2 of their series with the Padres. The Cards only scored 1 run in the last 3 games combined. Tonight, they don't even have a hit yet. They're down 1-0 in the top of the 4th. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
It is World Alzheimer's Day. An estimated 55 million people across the globe are living with dementia. Here in the U.S., more than 6 million Americans are counting are living with Alzheimer's disease. Almost 2/3 of Americans with Alzheimer's are women and older Black Americans, who are more likely to have the disease or suffer from other dementias compared to older white Americans. As the U.S. continues to battle the effects of prolonged drought and extreme weather, are adding to an increase in food prices. Fox Business Network Kelly O'Grady reports from California.
We're at the Santa Monica Farmers Market today, and normally this place is a haven for small businesses. It's the place where you go to get the best produce at the best price, but these farmers are dealing with the worst drought conditions in over 1,200 years. If you can believe it, over 99% of California is in a state of drought, 41% in extreme or exceptional conditions, and that might be kind of hard to imagine when you go to the faucet, you turn on the water, but we've been talking to farmers today about just how bad it's getting.
For the first time in 32 years, we ran out of water, totally, in mid-July. It's never happened. Our water rights are about 150 years old, but if there's no water, your water rights don't mean anything.
And with the overwhelming majority of fruits, tree nuts, vegetables being sourced from regions like the Golden State, we could be relying more on foreign food supplies, and there could be less variety at the store. These farmers have to make difficult choices planning for the uncertainty of future harvests. The American Farm Bureau Federation finds 33% of farmers out west are destroying their orchard trees or multi-year crops due to the years of investment and cultivation needed. 74% are seeing less production from the harvest, and that means more inflation.
You definitely will see rising prices. For one of the reasons is because if you have less water, you're raising less crop, so you have less to sell.
And the farmers are also citing gas as a reason why they're having to raise prices. I mean, your food has to get to the supermarket or the farmer's market somehow. But I have to say, from being here, these small businesses, they are doing something that they love, and this drought is putting that in jeopardy.
Coming up, a staple film and TV award show makes its return to the stage. Hollywood Nation is next. A film and TV award show will be a part of the 2023 award season lineup. An Oscar-winning filmmaker makes her first venture into TV and more. Here's Fox Ashley Dworkin with the latest from Hollywood Nation.
I've got a man trying to ruin my life.
Cranston gets a date, Zhao heads to the small screen, and an award show returns in the Hollywood Nation. The Golden Globes are back in 2023. NBC is welcoming the ceremony back to its airwaves just in time for the show's landmark 80th anniversary. The move comes more than a year after the network stepped back from the broadcast due to the diversity and ethics controversy surrounding the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The gala returns to the Beverly Hilton Hotel and airs live January 10th. Jimmy Kimmel is keeping his desk job a little longer. The late-night TV host extended his contract with ABC to host and executive produce Jimmy Kimmel Live for 3 more years. Chloe Zhao extended her relationship with Searchlight, the company behind her film Nomadland, which picked up Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actress trophies at the 93rd Academy Awards. The Oscar-winning writer-director signed a multi-year first-look TV deal with the studio to develop exclusive content. Bryan Cranston's legal drama, Your Honor, is coming back soon. Cranston plays a New Orleans judge who helps cover up his son's crime after he was involved in a hit-and-run that killed the son of a local gangster. Showtime announced the second and final season will premiere first on the network's streaming service December 9th, followed by its on-air debut December 11th.
Thank you very much, folks.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of various animals at the Montgomery, Alabama Zoo. Be safe. We're doing this all again tomorrow. See you then.